Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whenever mo ito ba papanoorin or whatever you want to do about this. Kung pakikinggan mo lang to habang gumagawa ka ng kung ano-ano, go lang din. Okay? So I'm so sorry if very late na I was at the hospital and hindi ako nakapag record kagad. Okay? Yan. So uwi ko lang on my end. It's already 2 a.m. Pero I really need to record this para at least, 'di ba? Madalian kayo or hindi kayo mahirapan for your exam. Okay? So, sa ordinary language, when we say objects, bagay siya, 'di ba? Pero in psychoanalytic language, ang object ay kadalasan tao, part ng tao or anything no na pinagtutuunan ng instinct, ng emotion and ng desire. Halimbawa, yung infant, yung subject, okay? Ang mother o yung breast, yung una niyang object. Okay? Yung feeding, yung comfort, yung frustration, love, yung anger, 'di ba? Yun yung bumubuo sa unang object relations. Ganon. Para kay Freud, malaking focus yung instinctual drives and pleasure, 'di ba? Pero para kay Klein, mahalaga, no? Super important for her yung drives. Okay? Pero mas binibigyan din niya yung question na parang paano naapektuhan ng earliest relationships yung paraan ng isang tao sa pagmamahal, sa pagtitiwala, sa pagkatakot at pakikipagrelasyon. Okay, ganun siya. Hindi lang natin dinadala yung memory ng ibang tao. Basically, gumagawa tayo ng internal version nila. Kapag consistent yung caregiver, pwedeng magkaroon ang bata ng internal belief na parang people can understand me, so people can be trusted. I can survive frustration. I can be loved even when I am angry. Parang ganon, di ba? Pero kapag threatening, inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable ang caregiver, pwedeng mabuo yung belief na people may leave me. Love can suddenly become rejection and I must protect myself before others hurt me. Okay? Ito yung object relations theory. Okay, madami tayong pag-uusapang theorist here kasi object relations is a theory on its own, pero they remain psychodynamic in a way na differed from Freud in several important ways. Okay? Very much kasi si Freud, in-emphasize niya yung instinctual drives, tapos yung object relations, in-emphasize nila yung interpersonal relationship. Si Freud, nag-focus siya heavily on sexual and aggressive tension, pero object relations focused on love, attachment, separation, and internal relationships. And marami pang iba, no? In simple terms, ang question ni Freud back in his psychoanalytic was what instinct or drive motivates the person. Pero sa object relations theorists, ang mga questions nila is like what kind of relationship is the person trying to create, repeat, protect, or avoid. Okay? Ganun siya. Pero for now, we'll be talking about Klein. Si Klein muna ang pag-uusapan natin for now. Okay? Wait lang, may tumatawag sa akin for some reason. Okay. Sorry about that. May tumawag sa akin eh. So, nakakairita sa tunog. But anyway, alright. So, una, kilalanin muna natin si Klein. Okay? So, here she is, di ba? Very maganda, no? Maganda, actually maganda si Klein. Si Melanie Klein, maganda siya. Si Melanie Klein, ang tunay niya pangalan ay Melanie Reyes Klein. Pinanganak siya noong March 30, 1882 sa Vienna, no? Austria-Hungary. Hindi siya nagkaroon ng formal medical degree pero naging isa siya sa pinaka maimpluwensyang psychoanalytic thinkers lalo na in child analysis. Originally, gusto niyang mag-aral ng medicine. However, dahil sa financial at family circumstances, hindi niya yon natuloy. Okay? Nagpakasal siya kay Arthur Klein. Um, And nagkaroon sila ng tatlong anak. No? Nakaranas si Klein ng personal difficulties including marital dissatisfaction, depression, family conflicts, losses involving people close to her, a difficult relationship with her daughter. Diba? So, mahalaga to kasi tulad ng ibang personality theorists, pwedeng naka-influence yung sariling emotional experiences ni Melanie sa focus niya no in regards with maternal relationships, sa love and hatred, separation anxiety, guilt, destructive impulses, and even yung fear of losing loved objects. Okay? Yan. So, naalala nyo ba si Sandor Ferenczi? Kasama ni Freud tsaka ni Jung sa Amerika. Yan. Kung hindi niyo naaalala, panoorin niyo ulit si Freud, okay? So, si Sandor Ferenczi, hindi naman siya importante din masyado, pero habang nasa Budapest sila, sumailalim si Klein sa psychoanalysis, no, kay Sandor Ferenczi. Si Ferenczi yung nag-encourage sa kanya to study and analyze children. So, sa kanya nagsimulang mabuo yung belief ni Klein na ang emotional world ng bata ay pwedeng maintindihan through play. Okay? Now, later, after Sandor, Klein moved to Berlin and underwent analysis with Carl Abraham. Okay? He's a prominent follower of Freud. Si Abraham, na-impluwensyahan niya naman si Klein into thinking about the early childhood development, aggression, oral and anal stage, internal objects, and early emotional conflicts. Okay? So, isa sa pinakamalaking contribution ni Klein ay yung paggamit ng play sa child analysis. Okay? The play analysis. Sa adults, free association yung ginagamit. Sinasabi ng patient na ang anumang pumapasok sa isip ng isang tao, okay? Parang may karagtong na ang pangit ng tono ko doon. Pero 'yon, no? Pero hindi kasi kayang sabihin ng bata kung ano man yung gusto niyan sabihin, 'di ba? Kaya iba yung gamit sa bata. They use the play analysis. Okay? Instead of saying na parang I am projecting my aggression toward my caregiver, ang sinasabi niya or pinapakita niya yung mga ganong bagay sa paglalaro. Kunwari, sinisira niya yung mother child, kinukulong niya yung baby doll, 'di ba? Pinapakain tapos sinasaktan yung toy or gumagawa ng monsters na umaatake, sumisira ng family, no? Paulit-ulit yung ginagawa na ganun. Para kay Klein, play is the child's equivalent of free association. Ganun siya. So both Melanie Klein and Anna Freud worked with children pero they disagreed about child analysis. Kasi si Anna Freud, yung anak ni Freud, ang point niya is that children could be treated exactly like adult psychoanalytic patients because yung ego daw nila was still developing. Okay? Sorry, did I say could be? Could not be treated, no? Hindi daw pwedeng i-treat. According kay Anna Freud, hindi pwedeng i-treat yung children exactly like adult psychoanalytic patients. Okay? And yung reason, yun nga, sinabi ko, the ego was still developing. Tapos they were dependent pa sa parents nila and hindi sila voluntarily nagsisik ng treatment, okay? And they could not form the same type of transference tulad ng matatanda. Now, ang point kasi ni Melanie Klein is that excuse me, ang point kasi ni Melanie Klein, inargue niya that even very young children may like napopossess na nila, no? Hawak na nila or meron na silang primitive ego, primitive superego, unconscious fantasies, anxiety, object relationships, internal conflicts, and yung ability to develop transference. So yung disagreement nila became part of the controversial discussions within the British Psychoanalytic Society. Okay? So then eventually tatlong general groups yung nag-emerge, no? Una, the Kleinian group. Second is the Anna Freudian group. And then third is the independent or yung middle group. Then, like always, tulad ng iba, namatay si Klein noong September 22, 1960 naman in London. Now, one of Klein's most radical claims was the infant possesses an active and emotionally complex psychic life from birth. So, then she believed na hindi blank slate yung bata. Hindi rin puro biological reflex lang. Okay, according to Klein, the infant is capable of experiencing primitive forms of love, hatred, fear, envy, gratitude, aggression, anxiety, guilt, desire, and unconscious fantasy. Okay? So madami siyang naisip si Klein nung time na yun. Kaya iba yung take niya, no, yung take niya talaga into children. Okay? Alright. So wait lang ulit, I'll be back kasi may tumatawag talaga eh. Sasagutin ko nga. Baka importante. Okay, ayan. So, welcome back. Sorry. Sorry talaga. Ang daming nangyayari sa paligid ko. Ang dami rin nangyayari sa katawan ko at the moment actually. So, anyway, tuloy natin. Ano ba? Tapos ba yun? Tapos na di ba ang play analysis? Okay. So, proceed tayo sa mismong theory ni Klein, the object relations theory. Okay. Una, we have what we call the fantasies. Okay? Sa Kleinian literature, ginagamit minsan yung spelling na fantasy with letter PH, no? Para i-distinguish to from the ordinary conscious imagination. Yung fantasy kasi ay hindi necessarily verbal. Okay? Hindi literal na nag-iisip yung infant na I am angry because my caregiver failed to satisfy my oral needs. Hindi ganoon, no? Instead, nararanasan ito as bodily and emotional experience. Okay? So kapag gutom at frustrated yung bata, iniisip niya na parang yung bad breast is withholding. Okay, hurting or attacking me. Ganun. So kapag satisfied siya, the good breast feeds, comforts, and protects me. Okay? Basically, the fantasy is the psychological expression of the instinct. Example, yung hunger, pwede siyang ma-represent by the fantasy of taking in the good breast. Okay, yung aggression may be represented by fantasies of biting, tearing, emptying, or destroying yung bad breast. Ganun siya. And love, no? Love may be represented by fantasies of preserving and protecting good object. Ganun siya. Now, what do I say? What do I mean when I say object? No, the objects again. No, for the infant, the earliest and most important object is the mother's breast because it's associated with milk, comfort, warmth, survival, satisfaction, frustration, absence, di ba? Okay? So, other possible early object pwedeng i-include dyan yung mukha ng nanay, yung kamay, yung boses, yung katawan, yung father, the penis, the womb, di ba? Ganun lang siya. So, sa beginning, hindi pa kayang makita ng infant yung mother as one complete and complex individual. Instead, she may be experienced through Part objects lang like feeding breasts, frustrating breasts, comforting voice, absent body, smiling face, rejecting face, mga ganong bagay. Okay? Now, may tinatawag tayong good breast and bad breast. Okay? Kapag busog, warm, at comforted yung infant, the breast is experienced as good. Okay? Pero kapag gutom, uncomfortable at walang feeding, yung breast, ang experience ng bata dyan ay bad. Okay? So, hindi ibig sabihin na may dalawang actual mothers, no? Ang point dito, the same mother is divided into two psychological representations kasi yung infant mismo cannot yet integrate satisfaction, pati yung frustration into one whole person. Okay? Sa primitive experience nila, iniisip nila na parang, itong tao na to, sinasatisfy ako, edi good to. No? Ay, itong tao na to, fino-frustrate ako, iniinis ako lagi, ginagalit ako lagi, bad to siya. Ganun siya, no? Hindi pa kaya kasing isipin ng infant na yung nanay ko, mahal ako, pero hindi niya ako kayang i-satisfy every time. Okay? Now, same sila ni Freud na may ego, pero iba yung iniisip nila. Okay? Magkaiba sila ng isip about sa ego. Freud believed na yung ego gradually develops out of the id. Okay? Klein believed that a primitive ego exists from birth. Meron na tayong tinatawag na primitive ego according kay Klein na nag-exist na pagkapanganak pa lang sa'yo. Although immature and unstable, yung early ego ay pwedeng maka-experience ng anxiety, pwede mag-develop ng object relations, maggamit ng primitive defenses, mag-protect ng impulses, introject objects, and everything. Diba? Because the ego or the early ego is fragile, madaling ma-overwhelm ng instinctual energy at anxiety. Kaya gumagamit ito ng mechanisms such as splitting and projection. Okay? Okay. So, yun. Kaya nagkakaroon ng splitting. Okay? Si splitting, yan yung nangyayari kaya si good breast and bad breast ay magkaiba. Okay? Yung dalawang breast ng magulang, iniisip ng bata na, ito, madami tong gatas. Ito lagi nagbibigay ng gatas sa akin. Ito yung good breast. O, itong kabila, pangit. Lagi akong ginaganto, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Ito yung bad breast para sa akin. Ganun siya, okay? Nire-relate lang kasi ng bata talaga yung mga bagay according dun sa gamit sa kanila. Okay? Now, si Klein, in-accept niya yung idea ni Freud about the life and death instincts. Okay? Ginamit niya yung life and death instinct. Okay? So, yung life instinct is the tendency toward survival, love, preservation, integration, and creation. No, it is expressed through love, attachment, gratitude, protection, reparation, and desire to preserve the good object. Okay, yung death instinct naman, on the other hand, is the instinct or the tendency toward aggression. Okay? Expressed yan through hatred, destructive fantasy, fear of being destroyed, desire to attack the frustrating object. Ganun siya. According kasi kay Klein, yung infant mismo may project the death instinct toward the outside world because the ego fears being destroyed from within. Ganun siya. Ang psychological sequence niyan ay parang okay, meron akong destructive aggression. So, ipoproject ko to sa isang object. Tapos yung object na yan, mafe-feel niyang aggressive and dangerous siya. So, I fear that the object will attack me. Okay? Ganun siya. Kunwari parang, okay, meron akong destructive aggression. So, etong aggression na to, ipoproject ko to dun sa, sa right na dede ng nanay ko. Okay? So, now, yung object na yon, yung dede ng nanay ko, iisipin ko na, hala, aggressive siya, tsaka dangerous siya, so nakakatakot kasi baka atakihin niya ako. Ganon nangyayari yung death instinct. Okay? Now, may anxiety, no? May anxiety rin sa theory niya. Okay? Anxiety is central to her theory ni Klein. Okay? Una, we have the persecutory anxiety. Okay? Ito yung fear that the self will be attacked, overwhelmed, or destroyed by dangerous internal or external objects. Dahil na-project ng infant yung sariling aggression sa bad breast, mararamdaman niya ngayon na yung breast mismo yung hostile. Okay? So parang, the bad object wants to destroy me. Ganun yung iniisip niya. Okay? The second one is the depressive, no? Yung depressive, ito naman yung lumilitaw to kapag unti-unting nare-realize ng infant na yung good at bad objects ay iisang person. Okay? Naiisip niya na parang, ala, yung the mother that I hate is also the mother that I love. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ngayon ng guilt, ng sadness, ng concern, fear of loss, and yung desire to repair the relationship. Okay, yun lang. Basically, yan yung mga basic terms na need nating malaman. Additionally, aside sa anxiety kasi, meron ding concept ng envy, jealousy, and greed si Klein. No, unahin natin yung envy. Okay? Yung envy, parang yung infant kasi, nagde-depend yan sa breast. Okay? For milk and for goodness. Pero because the breast possesses something the infant needs and cannot fully control, the infant may envy it. Okay? Yung primitive na emotional logic yan parang, you possess the goodness that I need. Okay? Because I cannot fully control it, gusto kong i-spoil yan or i-destroy ko na lang yan. Ganun siya, okay? Envy usually involves two parties, no? Una is yung self, tsaka yung envied object. Pangalawa, we have the jealousy. Okay? Ito yung fear of losing a loved person to a rival, okay? So, yung jealousy, meron niyang tatlong parties. Self, loved person, and yung rival. Parang ganito yan siya. Parang, baka mas mahal ni mama yung kapatid ko kaysa sa akin. Okay? Ganun lang. That is the idea of jealousy. Alright? Walang kahit na anong nangyayari. Yun lang. Iniisip niya lang yan. Then we have, pangatlo, the greed. The excessive desire to possess, consume, or exhaust everything the object can provide. Yung greed ay hindi lang desire to receive. Ito yung parang gusto ng individual na ubusin yung goodness ng object para walang matira para sa iba. Okay? And usually it goes with envy. After envy magiging jealousy bago magiging greed. Okay? Ayun lang. Now, Klein used the term possession, not stages. Okay? Hindi sila strictly completed na developmental stages, no? Kasi a person may move between positions throughout life, especially during rejection, loss, jealousy, conflict, stress, trauma, emotional overload, okay? The two major possessions na nandito ay una ang paranoid schizoid possession. Okay? Ito yung pinaka-dominant during the earliest months of life. Bakit? No? Bakit siya paranoid? Because the infant fears that the projected bad object will attack or destroy the self. Okay, hindi siya clinical paranoia. It just refers to the primitive persecutory fear. Okay? Parang the dangerous object is coming after me. Parang ganun siya. Ganun yung iniisip niya. Paranoid siya. Basically. Pero bakit schizoid? Okay, the term refers to splitting or dividing. Okay? Hindi hindi ibig sabihin nito na may schizophrenia yung bata, okay? In this position, several things are splitting. Good objects, bad objects, loving and destructive instincts, the positive and negative parts of the ego, satisfying the frustrating experiences. Okay, yung main characteristic ng paranoid schizoid possession is that during this possession kasi yung nanay mismo nakaka-experience mainly through excuse me, mainly through part objects, okay? The gratifying breast is experienced as all good. Tapos yung frustrating breast naman ay na-experience as all bad. Ganun siya. So yung aggression, pinoproject siya madalas into the bad object. Tapos yung bad object is experienced as persecutory. Now, yung good experiences naman, yun yung ini-introject. Tapos parang feeling naman natin, pinoprotektahan tayo nung good object. Yun yung splitting na nangyayari in this specific possession. Example, after receiving a praise, no, kapag ka napuri yung isang estudyante, sabi niya, si sir talaga yung best professor, siya lang yung nakakaintindi sa amin. Ganon. Pero kapag naka-receive ng low grade, iisipin, wala siyang pakialam. Masama talaga ugali niya. Wala siyang awa. Di niya kami naiintindihan. Parang namang di siya naging estudyante. Ganon siya, di ba? The student cannot integrate na my professor may care about me and still evaluate my work strictly. Okay? Now, the professor becomes either completely good or completely bad. Kaya merong splitting. Okay, hindi siya pwedeng nasa gitna. Kailangan nandun siya sa dalawang end ng in-split na personality ng person na yon. Okay, naintindihan? Second is the depressive possession. Okay, this is more integrated. Okay, kasi the infant gradually realizes na yung good mother na nagsasatisfy sa akin and yung bad mother na naiinis ako palagi I say mother lang. Ito yung start ng whole object relations. Okay? Yung whole object relations, ano yan, parang yung infant kasi naiintindihan niya na yung mother can be loving and unavailable. The mother can comfort and frustrate. The anger does not make the mother entirely bad and the love can continue despite frustration. Okay? Aside dito, meron tayong tinatawag na ambivalence. Okay? Ito yung capacity to experience both a loving and the hostile feelings toward the same person. Okay? Yung very mature person dito, magsasabi na parang, mahal kita pero galit ako sa ginawa mo. Ganun siya, no? Pero yung someone na immature, na merong split, or merong idea na ganito ng ambivalence ay parang iniisip na dahil galit ako sa'yo, masama ka na at hindi na kita mahal. Okay? Now, once the infant integrates the good and bad mother, a new fear develops. Okay? Kapag ka na-interpret na, excuse me, basically, kunwari, di ba, may splitting sa paranoid schizoid possession. Now, if ma-integrate na, napupunta siya sa depressive possession. No? So, bagong fear yung nade-develop niya. Parang, what if may aggression damage the person I love? Okay? Paano kung masaktan ko si mama kasi ganito, kasi ganyan, no? So, yung infant mismo, nakaka-experience siya ng guilt, concern, fear of losing the mother, sadness, and desire to restore the damaged object. That is the depressive anxiety. Okay? Naintindihan? Binalik ko lang yung idea ng depressive anxiety kanina. And because merong depressive anxiety, nagkakaroon ng reparation. Ito yung effort to restore, to protect, or repair a loved object that one fears has been damaged by one's aggression. Okay? Example, niyayakap yung nanay, no? Pagkatapos magtantrum. Or bibigyan ng toy, di ba? Or sabihin natin, tinatry nila na mag-smile yung caregiver nila. Okay? Or even saying sorry, simple as saying sorry. Ganun siya, in child. Okay? Pero in adults, madalasan yan, giving a sincere apology, taking responsibility, correcting harmful behavior, rebuilding trust, mga ganun. Okay? Basta ang healthy reparation, nag-require ng genuine recognition of responsibility. Okay? Now, to resolve the depressive possession is better managed when the child develops confidence na yung love object can survive and yung child's anger. Okay? Parang yung caregiver ay hindi permanently magdi-disappear. Yung aggression does not automatically destroy love. No? Relationship can be repaired. Ganun yung idea. Good and bad qualities can exist. Kapag na-realize niya na yun, nare-resolve na si depressive possession. Okay? Pero remember, healthy development does not completely eliminate yung paranoid schizoid functioning. Okay? Mature personality involves a greater capacity to remain in or return to the depressive possession through integration, ambivalence, concern, responsibility, and reparation. Okay? So, si Klein kasi, ang in-emphasize niya ay yung 4 major psychic defense mechanism. Okay? Una, we have what we call introjection. Okay? Ito yung process of mentally taking an external object or its quality into the self. Okay? Dito, yung infant does not literally swallow the caregiver. Okay? Instead, the relationship becomes part of the internal psychological world. Now, if the caregiver is generally responsive, the child may internalize a good object. Later, even when the caregiver is absent, the child may feel na parang, safe pa din ako, comforted pa din ako, okay, someone will still return, okay? So, sinusuportahan nun yung idea ng emotional regulation, yung trust, yung self-soothing, yung stable na self-worth. And that is good introjection. Okay? Ano yung bad, no? Bad introjection ay if the child repeatedly experiences criticism, danger, rejection. The child may internalize a persecutory object. Example, no? Kapag yung nanay laging sinasabi na wala kang silbi, wala kang kwenta, ganto, ganyan, ganyan. Later, even when the parent is absent, the person may carry an internal voice na kapag nagkamali ako, wala akong kwenta. Ganon, na hindi ako good enough. Okay? Yun yung point ng introjection. Kay Freud kasi ang introjection niya, isa lang, 'di ba? Yung good qualities lang or yung mga qualities, basta qualities as it is, ganun lang kalawak. Dito, in-emphasize na merong good and bad introjection. Okay? Second, we have the projection. Ito naman yung process of attributing one's own unacceptable impulses, emotions, qualities to another person. Example, um, may isang tao no, na sobrang intense ng anger pero hindi niya ma-accept yon. Okay, instead the person says na imbis na sabihin ng isang tao niya na okay, na galit ako sa iyo. Ganun no. Iisipin ang sasabihin niya ay ikaw yung galit sa akin. Ganun siya no. So sa infant ano to siya, parang my aggression is projected into the bad object. Okay? Now, yung object mismo, feeling ko dangerous siya kasi ganito, kasi ganyan. So, yung projection may reduce internal tension temporarily, but it distorts the perception of other people. Okay? Ganun lang siya. Now, third one is the splitting. Sa splitting, example nito, parang after ng praise, di ba, perfect yung professor ko. Pero after ng criticism, wala siyang malasakit, masama siyang tao. Splitting has an early protective function. It allows the infant to preserve the good object by separating it from the destructive or frustrating object. Okay, however, again, splitting becomes maladaptive kapag it remains rigid and prevents realistic integration. Yun lang, kapag hindi mo na ma-integrate or kapag hindi mo na makita na yung tao ay possible na love and hate yung relationship, no? Ibig sabihin nun, saka lang siya nagiging masama ang splitting. Okay? Kailangan na i-integrate mo na siya na okay, isang tao lang yung I have a love and hate relationship to that one specific person. Ganun siya. Okay? Now we have the projective identification. Alright. So, dito yung basic sense nito ay parang part of the self is split off. Okay? So, it is projected into another person. The person is treated as though the projection truly belongs to them. Tapos, yung interaction, pwedeng may pressure, no? Pwedeng i-pressure nun yung other person to respond accordingly. Example, no? Kunwari si Sandra, no? Si Sandra, may fear of abandonment siya. So, she projects this fear into her partner. Tapos, ina-assume niya na, gusto mo akong iwan? Feeling ko iiwan mo ako. Iiwan mo din ako, ganyan-ganyan, di ba? Pero, and dahil sa belief na yon, no, she becomes suspicious, repeatedly accused yung partner niya, kinokontrol yung partner niya, tinetest yung relationship, nire-reject yung assurance, and eventually, kapag napagod na yung partner niya, and magiging emotionally distant na yan. Now, si Sandra, makukonclude niya na parang, tama ako, iiwan talaga ako eh. So, yung internal fear niya, yung nakatulong to shape the interpersonal situation. Okay? Meron pang iba. Associated sila with the broader Kleinian thinking, but are not usually listed among the four major mechanisms. Ito yung apat na mechanism, no? We have the introjection, projection, splitting, and projective identification. Now, meron pang ibang additional. Una, we have the idealization. Okay, ito naman yung exaggerated perception of another person entirely good, powerful, or perfect. Okay, yun lang. Exaggerated perception lang siya ng ibang tao na parang halo effect. Ganun. Pag nakita ka ng isang tao na mahinhin, iisipin mo, sobrang huli niya. Hindi siya makabasag pinggan. Feeling ko mabait siya. Ganun kagad, no? Denial naman, yung refusal to recognize a painful aspect of internal or external reality. Yun lang, alam niyo naman na yan. Then we have the omnipotent control. And ito yung fantasy that one can completely control another person, the relationship, or the reality. Okay, yung defense na to, or itong additional na tatlong defenses na to, they work together with splitting. Okay, magkakasama yan sila. Kaya hindi na siya nilagay as major defense mechanism. Okay, so additionally, meron tayong tinatawag na internalizations. Okay, ito yung process. Okay, kasi si Klein, parang she believed that a person does not merely remember a caregiver. The person develops an internal object. Okay? Internal object is the mental and emotional representation. It can be good and it can be bad. Okay? Ang good internal object is a stable one. No? It supports trust, emotional security, self-soothing, patience, tolerance of temporary separation, and capacity to maintain love despite conflicts. Now, yung bad internal object, persecutory yan. Okay? It may contribute to chronic fear of rejection, harsh self-criticism, distrust, suspicion, di ba? Now, again, psychoanalysis pa rin to. Ay, mukha lang siyang hindi, pero psychoanalysis pa rin to. Kaya, meron pa ding development of the ego. Okay? According kay Klein, the ego exists from birth in a primitive form. The early ego performs several functions. Okay? Una, it experiences anxiety. It uses defense mechanism. It forms objects relationship. Uh, it projects destructive impulses. It introjects good and bad objects and attempts to preserve self. Okay? Healthy ego development occurs through increasing integration. Yung mature na ego, it can tolerate mixed emotions, it can distinguish fantasy from reality, and repair damaged relationships. Okay? Very much iba yung point ng ego na ni Klein compared kay Jung, ay kay Freud, okay? Hala, kanina pa pala to naka-Jung Analytical Psychology. Hindi tayo tungkol kay Jung ha, baka iniisip nyo. Tungkol to kay Melanie Klein. Okay, now, si Klein nag-disagree lang siya, no? Strongly with Freud about the timing din ng superego. Kasi para kay Freud, yung superego nagde-develop yan around ages ng 5 or 6, no? After the resolution of the Oedipus complex. Kay Klein naman kasi, yung superego daw, nagbibigin yan during the earliest months of life. Okay? The early superego is not yet a calm moral conscience. Pwede pa siyang harsh, pwede pa siyang punitive, pwede pa siyang frightening, persecutory, cruel, ganyan, 'di ba? Yun lang. Yun yung point ng development ng superego, no? Bakit? Bakit siya pwedeng harsh, no? Kasi the infant projects aggression into objects and then introjects these objects as threatening internal figures. Kaya yung early superego ay parang internal persecutor yan. No? As good objects become stronger and good and bad representations are integrated, the superego can become more realistic, less cruel, more protective, and more capable of concern. Okay, now, naniniwala si Klein na mas maagang nagsisimula ang Oedipus complex compared sa sinabi ni Freud. Kasi naniniwala nga siya na mas maaga ding nagsisimula ang ego and ang superego, no? Para kasi kay Freud, karaniwang lumalabas to around ages 3 to 5, pero kay Klein, pwede itong magsimula habang infant pa lang. Lalo na kapag unti-unting napapansin ng bata na hindi lang siya yung center of attention ng nanay niya. Okay? So, unti-unting nare-realize ng bata na may ibang relationship yung mother. May father or ibang tao na binibigyan din ng atensyon, no? Hindi niya completely pagmamay-ari yung nanay niya and may mga pagkakataong hindi agad available yung mother para sa kanya. Okay, dito pumapasok yung jealousy, rivalry, envy, fear of exclusion, fear of retaliation, and desire to possess the loved parent. So basically, ang idea niya with Oedipus complex, no, ay hindi tungkol sa sexual desire. Mas nakatuon to, mas nakafocus to sa early relationships, dependency, jealousy, aggression, and takot na mawalan ng minamahal na object. Okay? Ang malaking difference nito ay para kay Freud, mas genital and later childhood yung focus. Para kay Klein kasi, mas early, more primitive, and mas relational yung conflict. Okay? Now, habang lumalaki yung infant, unti-unti niya nakikita na yung mother ay merong relationship sa tatay niya at sa ibang tao. Then psychologically, pwedeng maranasan ng infant to bilang may ibang taong may access sa taong kailangan ko, no? Parang gano'n yung iniisip niya kagad. And dahil dito, pwedeng magkaroon ng fantasy na pinagkakaitan siya ng pag-ibig, no? Or may rival siya, mas pinipili ng nanay niya yung ibang tao or excluded siya doon sa relationship. Okay? Iniisip niya din minsan na parang may special bond yung parents niya na hindi niya makontrol. Ito yung reason kung bakit mahalaga kay Klein yung idea ng combined parent figure. Okay? The combined parent figure ay yung infant's fantasy that the parents are joined together as one powerful, excluding or threatening object. Sa primitive fantasy ng bata, pwedeng isipin niya na yung nanay at tatay niya ay laging magkasama and may secret relationship na hindi siya kasama. Kaya kailangan dapat magkasama sila palagi pag inaalagaan siya. no? Kapag dominant yung aggression at jealousy, pwedeng maranasan ang combined parents bilang mapanganib, makapangyarihan, nagkakaisa, no? Pinagkakaisahan siya laban sa kanya, no? May hawak ng love at satisfaction na gusto niyang makuha. Okay, sa explanation ni Klein, mas complicated ang Oedipus complex ng Eka, no, ng lalaki, kesa sa simpleng idea na gusto niya ng nanay at rival niya ang father. Okay? Sa simula, the mother's breast ang first love ng object, no? First loved object ng lalaki. Kapag satisfied siya, nararanasan niya ang mother bilang good object. Kapag frustrated siya, pwede niyang maranasan yung mother bilang bad object. Okay? Kaya sabay niyang nararamdaman ang love, dependence, gratitude, anger, and envy. Okay? Sa early phase kasi, pwedeng makita rin ng lalaki yung tatay bilang source of goodness. Sabi ni Klein, pwedeng magkaroon yung eka, yung lalaki ng receptive or feminine position toward the father. Hindi ibig sabihin nito na may conscious sexual identity decision yung infant, no? Ang ibig sabihin lang sa primitive fantasy, pwedeng maranasan ng bata yung tatay bilang isang object na may kakayahang magbigay ng love, ng strength, ng protection, nourishment, ng baby, ng goodness, 'di ba? Parang ganito yung primitive expectation niya. Parang iniisip niya na may magandang bagay din na pwedeng ibigay yung tatay ko. Ganoon lang, okay? Tapos habang nare-realize ng bata na may relationship yung nanay at yung tatay niya, pwedeng maging rival yung father. Okay? Pwedeng maramdaman ng bata na inaagaw niya sa akin yung nanay ko. Dito pwedeng magkaroon ng jealousy, ng hatred, again, ganun siya. Dahil ipoprotect ng lalaki yung aggression niya sa father niya, pwede niyang maramdaman na yung father naman ang gustong manakit sa kanya kasi nagpo-project na siya ng mismong behavior na gusto niya mangyari para sa tatay niya. Okay, now, kung may fantasy yung batang lalaki na sirain o alisin yung father, puwede rin siyang matakot na gantihan siya nito, okay? And yung possible na primitive fear kasama diyan yung pagkagat, sasaktan siya, kakastrain siya, 'di ba? Aagawan siya ng nanay, sisirain yung katawan niya, parang gano'n. So para kay Klein, ang castration anxiety ay hindi lang dahil nakita ng lalaki ang anatomical difference nila. Okay? Pwede rin itong manggaling sa projected aggression and fear of retaliation. Okay? Mas healthy ang resolution kapag nagawa ng lalaki na mahalin yung nanay niya nang hindi kailangang completely angkinin or kilalanin yung tatay bilang separate person, no? Hindi lang basta rival. Pwede ring tanggapin niya na may relationship yung parents niya or i-integrate yung good and bad qualities ng parehong magulang. Okay, kailangan niya lang bawasan yung splitting dito. Ang goal ay hindi mawala yung rivalry. Ang goal ay matutong tanggapin yung mixed feelings without destroying the relationships. Okay? Now, sa theory ni Klein, may early attachment din ang girl sa mother's breast. Okay? Yung mother ang first source kasi ng food, warmth, comfort, protection, satisfaction tulad ng sinabi ko kanina. Kaya hindi agad father yung first loved object ng babae. Kapag satisfying yung mother, experience siya bilang good object. Kapag hindi available or frustrating, pwedeng maging bad object siya sa utak ng bata. Kaya yung girl ay pwedeng makaramdam ng love toward the mother, dependence on the mother, anger toward the mother, envy or fear of being attacked by the mother, no? Pero kapag frustrated sa mother, no, pwedeng bumaling yung babae, yung batang babae sa father niya bilang alternative source of love and goodness. Sa primitive fantasy, yung father's penis ay pwedeng i-represent bilang object na nagbibigay ng love, satisfaction, babies, power, protection, no? Hindi ito conscious adult sexual thought. Okay? Symbolic at primitive ito sa Kleinian theory. Pwedeng magkaroon yung babae, yung batang babae ng fantasy na the father can give me babies. Tapos kapag nakita ng girl yung nanay niya bilang may special access sa tatay niya, pwedeng mainggit siya, no? Pwedeng maramdaman niya na nasa mother niya yung father niya. Ang mother niya yung may babies. Ang mother niya yung may katawan na capable of containing life. Siya ay excluded sa relationship ng parents. Okay? Dahil dito, pwedeng magkaroon ng aggressive fantasies against the mother. Tapos same sa lalaki, kapag pinroject nung batang babae yung aggression niya sa mother niya, pwede niyang maramdaman na yung nanay niya naman yung gustong gumante. Okay? Possible na primitive fears include sasaktan siya ng mother, gawin ng mother yung imagined babies niya, sisirain ng mother yung laman ng katawan niya, hindi siya mamahalin ng nanay niya, paparusahan siya, ganun, okay? That's the idea. Again, hindi ito literal na conscious thought ng bata. Okay? Ito ay unconscious symbolic fantasy according sa theory. Okay? Then, both, yung Oedipus complex, mareresolve lang yan if i-maintain yung love toward the mother despite frustration. If mamahalin yung father without needing to completely possess him, tatanggapin yung relationship ng parents, babawasan yung rivalry and envy. Same lang, basically, no? Important ang Oedipus complex sa theory ni Klein kasi connected ito sa early superego. Kasi unlike Freud, hindi naniniwala si Klein na saka lang nagde-develop ang superego pagkatapos ma-resolve yung Oedipus complex. Okay? Para sa kanya, para kay Klein, maaga pa lang ay meron ng primitive superego. Ito yung nabubuo from projected aggression, introjected bad objects, fear of retaliation, and internalized parental figures. Kaya yung early superego, pwedeng sobrang harsh, no? Parang may internal voice na nagsasabi na masama ka dahil galit ka, pahihirapan ka dahil gusto mong mawala yung rival mo. Sisirain ang taong gusto mong sirain. Okay? Ganun siya. Habang nagde-develop yung child at mas nai-integrate ang good objects, pwedeng maging less cruel and more realistic ang superego. Okay? Healthy resolution does not mean na completely mawawala yung jealousy, yung aggression, yung rivalry, yung possessiveness, no? Normal pa rin yung mga yon. Healthier outcome ay kapag kaya na ng bata na mahalin yung parehong parents. Okay? Tanggapin na hindi siya fully pagmamayari. Okay? Or i-recognize yung sariling aggression, no? And gumawa ng reparation. Okay? Now, maraming parts ng Kleinian Oedipus complex ang highly speculative. Walang direct evidence na literal na iniisip na yung infants ay father's penis, no? Um, Babies inside the mother or parents attacking the child's baby. Okay? Yun lang. Yun lang yung gusto kong sabihin kagad. Walang direct evidence na literal na nagsasabi na gusto ng bata yung penis ng tatay niya or yung babies inside the mother or yung parents attacking the child's body. Ganun lang. Okay? And that is one of the things that we have to talk about in Klein. Okay? Now, do you have any questions about the topic for this video? Wala? Okay. Well, if wala naman na, edi mabuti at naiintindihan ninyo. So, sa next video na mapanoorin natin, we'll be talking about Mahler, Margaret Mahler, Mary Ainsworth, John Bowlby, and Heinz Kohut. Okay? Ayun lang. So, for now, if wala namang questions, then just I'll see you next video. Okay? Bye for now.